tell me if this sounds new. People are complaining about UVF. Honestly, from the very short amount of time I've been here, this is something I've heard all the time. But just so I can qualify myself so you guys know who I am, my name is Ryan. I'm a freshman here at UVF. I've been here for 2 semesters. So just so you know, I don't have the most experience here. I don't fully understand all the ins and outs of the school. I haven't been ingrained into the UVF culture yet. I'm only here for 2 semesters. Alright? 2. That's it. That's all I've been here for. I want to talk about the UVF mental health page. And the first 2 I want to talk about, this person's actually deleted them. So I'm actually, thank you person for deleting them. It's actually a very good thing that they deleted them. But I want to talk about these 2. The first one I talk about is, I believe they said that the food here sucks, is making them fat. Worship sucks. Chapel sucks. That's what I can remember. I just want to ask this person, or just like figure out, is this person from the AG? Because for me personally, I grew up AG. I've been in Assemblies of God my whole life. Obviously, Valley Forge is an Assemblies of God school. Do they know what AG worship and chapel sermons are like? Because UVF is very much AG. Like the way worship is done, the way the stuff is presented in chapel is very, very much AG. It's very typical to the way the Assemblies of God have worship done. You have a band play worship. You get like 3 songs. You like your first 2 fast songs, your last song's your slow song, then you transition to the person coming up, and then they give the message, and then the band comes up, plays a very slow song, and then typically people come down to the pews, and to the altar, and they're like, Lord Jesus, help me, right? That is very common in AG. So it's this person coming from the perspective of someone from the Assemblies of God. Because if they're not, I'd understand why they feel like chapel sucks and why they feel like worship sucks, because it's not what they're used to. If I came to a Christian school and I had to hear worship every Tuesday, Wednesday, at minimum, and it wasn't what I was used to, I would feel like I sucked. I feel like it was bad because it's not what I'm used to. And even with chapel, if chapel is not what I'm used to, I'm not going to like it. I'm going to think it sucks because it's not what I'm used to. But if this person is coming from an AG perspective, and even if they're not, but where's their heart posture? I feel a lot of times people be like, oh, chapel sucks, worship sucks, the message sucked. Where is your heart posture? Is your heart posture focused on the Lord? Because if it's focused on the Lord, everything you have is focused on the Lord. Every time you are in worship, you're worshiping the Lord. Every time you sit through a sermon in chapel, you're worshiping the Lord. Your heart posture is pointed towards God, you're worshiping the Lord. And I'm saying everything you do is to be pointing towards the Lord. So when I sit in this sermon, say I'm taking notes, say it doesn't directly affect me, right? Say it's talking about graduating and stuff to do after school, and as a freshman, that doesn't affect me. I was talking about how to stay spiritually connected to God outside of UVF, considering you don't have chapel all the time. That doesn't affect me, but I can still learn from it. I can still learn certain things about how to always stay connected to God, even when I'm not in school, when I'm at home, when it's over break, stuff like that. I can always take from it. And then if my heart posture is pointing towards the Lord during worship, I'm coming to God. It is not, hey, play my favorite song. Hey, play the song at this tempo. Hey, why wasn't there a key change here? It's not about that. It's about, am I worshiping the Lord? Am I spending time in God's presence? Yes, that's what worship and chapel are about. They're not about your personal preferences. And that's what a lot of people, I feel like, think about them. They're just about their personal preferences. They want me. I want it this way. And they're not realizing that it's a moment to worship God. It's not a moment to have your favorite worship song play or have your favorite guest speaker come up. Like, I know everyone loves Jermel Mayo. He's not going to always be there. We have to learn from these people who don't preach like him. We have to learn from people who preach differently, because everyone preaches differently. In life, some of the most important times someone may speak in your life Maybe about the time some random dude across the street comes and talks to you about the word. Or it may be your home pastor, your home church pastor. We don't know. No one ever knows. So you have to be willing to listen to people and actually try to take in what they're teaching you and not just diswanting it because it's not what you're used to. All right. So the next one, a person deleted, I believe it said, student life creates a bubble that everything is all sunshine and rainbows, and they don't talk about stuff that's going on outside of UVF and how there's always problems and trouble and negativity in the world. From the time that I've been here, I haven't seen this. I haven't seen student life control the entirety of Valley Forge. If anything, I don't think even student life plays that huge of a role. Like, yeah, there are certain things they do. Housing lottery. You gotta go into student life to go check in to reactivate your ID for when you come back after your first semester, right? But student life, from what I've seen, doesn't control the school. Maybe I'm wrong. If student life is the one creating the spiritual culture of what's taught at chapel, so on and so forth, maybe I'm wrong. But like, in the classes I've taken, the few classes I've taken, I've already seen these teachers talk about stuff outside of the University of Valley Forge. Say, for instance, Dr. Kyneth. With him, I've had New Testament and biblical interpretation. And in these classes, especially biblical interp, he talks a lot about what's going on at his home church, Bread of Life, the church he pastors. He talks about some serious things that people are going through. Like the one lady who got her face mauled off by a dog. Like, that is a very serious thing that doesn't affect UVF. That's going on outside. That is a very dark topic. But also, he's also given a lot of opportunities for people to travel with him and his church, Bread of Life, to go to downtown Philly, to go find people who are addicted to drugs, who are homeless, who are not in the right mindset, who are very not Christian and not living a life that is full of sunshine and rainbows. Yes, these opportunities that are given to us that student life has no impact on. As well as, I have a class with Garcia. Currently, I'm mass media and society. And in this class, we talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We talk about a whole bunch of stuff that's going on in society. Like, we recently, today, just talked about, the tariffs and the effect that they have and what they can mean to us. As well as we've talked about, very serious topics, like stuff about orientation and the way society affects us, like the way some companies are controlled, the media these people are producing. We have talked about some very serious societal things that aren't sunshine and rainbows, that are outside of UVF, that student life has not had a say on. They haven't had a say in this. So I really don't see how student life is manipulating the school to make everything seem like sunshine and rainbows. You could very well go talk to your professors, go talk to these people about these situations outside of UVF, about stuff that are not sunshine and rainbows. So if you're living within that bubble and you feel like you are, go find the ways to get out of it. And don't just be like, oh, I watched Fox News and they said Donald Trump is going to put on these tariffs and all of our taxes are going to go down. And be like, why isn't UVF talking about that? It is a university. The whole point of the university is to teach us about stuff. And sorry, I did come against Donald Trump. I'm not trying to come against him. I'm just saying, I feel like a lot of times, maybe for this person specifically as well, they're trying to say maybe UVF isn't talking about current news, and current news is what's going on outside the world. So because by not talking about current news, they're not talking about this darkness, and they're creating a bubble that seems to be sunshine and rainbows. I very much don't see this, and if you do see this, maybe go find people outside to talk to about this stuff that isn't sunshine and rainbows. Go find ways to talk to your professors about this, to see what's going on. All right, for these next ones, I actually have the post about them because they didn't delete them. Response 14 says, excuse me, the school is struggling spiritually because of the leadership. They don't want a revival here. For a Christian / Pentecostal school, they rarely or never talk about healing, prophecy, or demons. Seems like they are scared and care more about money than seeing God move. For this, I see this very differently. Obviously, as a university, they need to keep the business afloat. So obviously, they're going to care about money. If you don't know, this is coming from very limited information. I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but this is coming from information that I have from some secret insiders that I cannot explain. Who? The president who ran UVF before President Kim came nearly ran UVF into the ground and bankrupted the school. So President Kim is trying to keep this school afloat and to make it a sustainable university that can survive beyond his years here. So obviously he's going to have to care about money to keep it alive. As well as for me, as a freshman, I'm not going to say how much money I got. I got a very good amount, a very nice amount of money from the school to help in scholarships and to pay for me being here. So thank you, UVF, for that. I don't want to say like they are just extremely money hungry, because they're not, but they do need money to keep this place afloat after it was nearly ran to the ground. 2, they don't want a revival here. Are we talking about a revival about non-believers or like a revival within believers? Because as a believer, I feel like they've given very many opportunities to have a revival here. Very many chapels are given for people to go to the altar to pray the Lord, to spiritually revive themselves. A revival is very much not just everyone on the campus gets spiritually revived. A revival is very much, a very personal, intimate moment with God, where you spiritually are revived and you're spiritually back to relation with God, and you were closer to God than ever before. A revival does not have to be a mass revival. I feel like a lot of times people view a revival as a mass revival and don't realize that a revival can also be a very personal, intimate moment with God. And I think this person is viewing them as a mass revival and not realizing that revival is a very personal thing as well. It's not just mass revival. Healing. I believe they talk about healing all the time. In chapel, there are very, 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 very much opportunities for people to go to these altars and people to pray over them, for healing them mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. They talk about this all the time. They give so many opportunities for this. Prophecy and demons. Okay, I could agree with this, but maybe it's because I'm a freshman, and maybe it's because I'm not a theology major. I haven't had much of these situations talked about personally. I haven't heard that. But doesn't mean they aren't talked about. Like, there could be a whole class in a theology major course that I haven't seen and I don't know about and I haven't taken that talks about prophecy and demons. So I'm not just going to chuck it up to they don't talk about it at all, because very much they could, and I just don't know about it. Alright, I just want to talk about the mental health UVF page. I just want to thank them for deleting posts that are very negative towards the school, very targeted at the school. As you said, this page is not tolerating disrespect towards the school or any group on campus. Thank you for that, because mental health is not just complaining. It's not just trauma dumping, as people would say. Like, there's stuff I have gripes about this school with. I'm not just gonna complain about it on this UVF mental health page because I want others to know about it, or I just feel like everyone should know about this. No. A lot of times, people think their opinions matter more than they do. I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of people complain and care about stuff that they have no business caring about or complaining about. Your opinions do not matter. Yes, it is very nice to know how you feel about certain things and to have your own opinions about stuff, but we honestly, We do not care. Respectfully, we do not care. I don't care if personally for you feel like student life controls the school. For instance, talk to your friends about that maybe, but trying to talk negatively about the school when there are so many opportunities that the school provides to talk about and to go to places outside of the school, you're looking like you haven't done any thought into this, and it's just something that you've maybe thought up once and have then complained about because you haven't done any research into it and haven't fully thought out your thought, because the school has given so many opportunities to talk about stuff that isn't sunshine and rainbows. So I just say thank you for this page for deleting these posts that are very schizo and haven't seemed fully thought don't seem fully thought out. I thank you for that. But yeah, that's about all I have for today. Just you know, post to the page. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do. I'm just saying, why are we complaining and caring about stuff that we should not be caring and complaining about? But yeah, that's about it. See you later. Peace. Ciao. Adios.